On today's The Play, First Lieutenant Michael Behenna's appeal is rejected, and Friday's tornadoes leave more than a dozen dead. But first, we begin with furloughs at Tinker Air Force Base. And joining me is Assistant Local Editor for the Oklahoman, Nick Dragakos. Thank you so much for joining me.
Sure.
Well, civilian workers at Tinker Air Force Base who lost their homes in the May 20th storms that struck central Oklahoma could be getting a break from the federal government. Now, what's the latest on that?
Well, the Air Force announced today that workers at Tinker who are scheduled to be furloughed as part of the whole sequester deal, if their homes were lost in the May 20 storm, they will now be exempted from the furlough. Some things that we're kind of looking into: what about the May 19th storms? What about these storms of May 31st on Friday? How about people who were involved with those storms? And also now, is there some kind of trade-off where they have to make up the difference? Sure, these people don't get furloughed, but how do they account for that extra money? So we're looking at all those questions, and reporter Chris Castile is digging into the issue.
All right. Well, the U.S. Supreme Court on Monday rejected the appeal of First Lieutenant Michael Behenna, upholding his conviction for killing an Iraqi man. Where does the case go from here?
Well, it looks at this point like the case has reached its kind of final stage.
Okay.
This technically exhausts all of Michael Behenna's appeals. Chris Castile, again, is working on this story out of our Washington bureau. Behenna has appealed through all the levels of military court and now through all the levels of civilian court. And it appears now that he's at a point where if he will get an early release from prison, it will be through the regular parole process that he would have to apply for. It looks like through court action, he may have come to an end there.
And he's obviously from Edmond, Oklahoma,
yeah.
Michael Behenna. So, yeah, that's an interesting story. And I guess he's serving 15 years, but he's already served about 4.
Yeah, that's right. And we've reported a lot on his case, so people who are regular readers of the Oklahoman News OK would be very familiar with that case.
Yes, definitely. All right, Friday's deadly tornadoes and storms killed more than a dozen people. Are rescuers still looking for missing people?
Yes, they are actually. We're expecting here in the next hour or so some updated figures from the medical examiner's office on a death toll. We can report that firefighters pulled another body, the body of a child, out of the Deep Fork River today, right at about I-235 and I-44, so right at a very populated area and busy area of the city. We're really still focusing a lot of attention on this storm. It's shaping up to be maybe in the neighborhood of 20-some fatalities once they find what we think are probably about 5 more missing people. We're starting to now get some stories of the victims. Of course, over the weekend it came out that there were some professional storm chasers that were victims. We're finding out that maybe a couple amateur storm chasers might have been victims as well.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, and especially if these professional storm chasers could be victims, then obviously they were devastating tornadoes.
It was a very dangerous storm and very unpredictable, obviously.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, you can read more on all of these stories in Tuesday's Oklahoman and on newsok.com. Thanks for watching The Play, where you get tomorrow's headlines today. Thank you so much, Nick.
Yeah.